She told the firefighters she tried to save them. Said the smoke came too fast. The flames were too high. Said she ran through the fire for her children. But the thing about fire is it tells the truth. And her skin barely touched. Her children's burned beyond recognition. October 24th, 1995. Prairie Village, Kansas. Two young boys don't make it out of their home. Their sister does, but only because she wakes up and saves herself. Their mother, Deborah Green, says it was an accident. Electrical. Maybe a candle. She cries. She cooperates. She folds herself into a grieving pose, like she practiced it. But the night didn't start with fire. It started with poison, with resentment, with a woman who needed to win at all costs, even if it meant destroying her entire family to do it. I'm Sidney Smith, and this is Murderous Podcast. And this week's Murderous is Deborah Green. In episode 84, The Fire That Ate Everything. Deborah Jones was born in 1951 in a small town in Illinois called Havana. She was the middle child between an older brother who demanded too much and a younger sister who needed everything. She was the quiet one, but not in a peaceful way. She was the kind of quiet that made teachers say things like, brilliant but strange. The kind of quiet that wasn't shy, it was watchful. Her father, Bob, worked for the post office. Stern, predictable, emotionally silent. Her mother, Joan, stayed home, managing the house like a military operation. Everything had to be just so. Dresses ironed, hair perfect, shoes shined, smiles polite. What didn't get said in that house was everything. Deborah learned early that perfection was the only shield she had. If she got straight A's, no one would ask if she was happy. If she won the science fair, no one would notice how lonely she was. Perfection became her armor. And later, it became her weapon. She went to college early, med school even earlier. Brains weren't the issue. But connection, intimacy, vulnerability, no one ever taught her that. And by the time she met Michael Farrar in 1979, she was already running on survival mode. He was charismatic, driven, confident. He saw her brilliance and mistook it for depth. She saw his kindness and mistook it for forever. They married, had 3 children, and for a few years, it looked like the fairy tale finally arrived. But the thing about perfection, it's never real, and it never lasts. From the outside, they looked like they were the picture of success. 2 doctors, beautiful house in Prairie Village. Tim, Kate, and Kelly, their 3 kids, were all well dressed, well fed, well behaved. Neighbors waved. Teachers praised. The kind of family that made other people feel like they were falling short. But inside that home, inside those 4 walls, Michael worked long shifts. Deborah drank. She began mixing wine with pills, Ambien, whatever was prescribed or left over or just lying around. She forgot school pickups, missed appointments, started sleeping through the afternoons. But when she was awake, she was sharp, too sharp. She'd accuse Michael of cheating, call him a bad father, tell the kids, their children, he didn't care about them, that he was going to leave them, abandon them. Tim, the oldest, once told a teacher, "My mom says we're all she has, but I think she hates us." What a horrible thing for a child to have to tell his teacher or to even feel. Still, to the world, Deborah was a devoted wife, the overburdened mom with a husband who didn't help enough. She painted herself as the victim, always just barely holding things together until someone pushed her. And Michael, he started to believe maybe she was sick. Maybe she needed help, until he started getting sick too. Michael started losing weight fast. He'd feel fine in the morning, and then crash by noon. Dizziness, blurred vision, migraines that came out of nowhere. Then the vomiting started. Muscle weakness. He collapsed in a hospital corridor. Deborah was sympathetic, too sympathetic. She'd insist on bringing him tea, meals for the kids, a casserole just in case. Then he'd get worse. He had blood work done, then more. Eventually, something flagged, a protein pattern consistent with exposure to a toxin, ricin. Lethal, fast-acting, no antidote. Investigators found the family had once kept castor beans in the house, used in science experiments. But those beans were gone. The bottle was missing, and there was only one person in that house who knew how to use them. They couldn't prove it, not yet. But Michael knew. He filed for divorce. And when he moved out, that's when the real unraveling began. It was just past 3:30 in the morning when the first call came in. Flames had overtaken the roof of the house in Prairie Village. The home where Deborah Green and her 3 children lived was burning. Neighbors said it lit up the sky like a flare. When first responders arrived, the house was already lost. The fire had started from multiple places: the garage, the hallway, and up the stairs. It didn't spread naturally. It had help. Outside, barefoot and dazed, Deborah Green stood watching. Her daughter, Kate, was by her side, alive, but shaken. Deborah told the firefighters she had tried to save them all, but the smoke was too thick, the heat too much. Inside, it was a horror scene. Kelly, just 6 years old, was found in his bedroom. He hadn't moved, hadn't tried to escape. He likely never woke up. Tim, 13, was different. He was found near the door. He made it into the hallway. He tried to run. He didn't make it. The autopsies confirmed what firefighters already suspected. The boys had died from smoke inhalation, not flames. They had time to be saved. Deborah claimed she had screamed for them, tried to find them, but her hands, though blistered, showed minimal exposure. No burns on her feet, no soot in her lungs, no signs of someone who'd fought through the fire to save her children. And Kate, Deborah's daughter, she told a different story. She said her mother didn't scream, didn't bang on doors, didn't try to get them out. She just walked outside. That was the crack, the first real one. The version that didn't match the fire, didn't match the evidence, didn't match the truth. Investigators began building their timeline, linking it to Deborah's unraveling, the ricin poisoning, the divorce. It didn't take long for them to draw the line. Deborah Green didn't just lose control. She made a decision. And the fire, that was her exit plan. The case was clear. Deborah Green was charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder for the deaths of her sons, 1 count of attempted murder for poisoning her husband, and aggravated arson. The prosecution had everything they needed: a surviving child's testimony, evidence of multiple accelerants, and a deeply motivated suspect with a long history of psychological instability and resentment. But it wasn't just about what Deborah had done. It was how she behaved in the aftermath. It was erratic. She wasn't remorseful. She was composed. Tired, maybe, but not broken, and certainly not sorry. Michael, her estranged husband, took the stand. He detailed the poisoning, his symptoms, his fear. He described her spiral, how he watched the woman he married disappear into someone colder than he thought possible. And then there was Kate, the surviving daughter. She was just 10 years old. The prosecutors were prepared to call her to the stand, but Michael asked them not to. He didn't want his daughter to relive that night in front of strangers. Didn't want her to say under oath that her mother left her brothers to die. So a deal was struck. Deborah Green would plead no contest. 2 life sentences, parole possible someday. No trial, no testimony, no headlines. Some said she took the plea out of guilt. Others said she took it because she had no chance of winning. Whatever the reason, she didn't fight it. She just nodded, signed the papers, and was led away. It's been nearly 30 years since the fire, since that night turned a Kansas suburb into a national crime story. Deborah Green is still alive, still behind bars at the Topeka Correctional Facility, still eligible for parole, but she's been denied at every hearing. She has never given a full explanation, never answered the one question everyone still asks. Why? Michael eventually rebuilt. He remarried, continued practicing medicine, but 2 of his children are gone. And the third, she left that life behind. Kate changed her name, left Kansas. She's never spoken publicly, and no one can blame her. There is no memorial in that cul-de-sac. No plaque, no candlelight vigils, just the memory of a house that no longer exists. And a question that never quite leaves you. If a woman can love her children, but still kill them to punish someone else, what do we even call that? Deborah wasn't insane. She was deliberate. And what she took wasn't just life. It was trust. It was safety. It was the belief that a mother's love could never turn to ash. But in Prairie Village, Kansas, it did. This episode of Murders Podcast was written and hosted by me, Sidney Smith. Music, editing, and production by Laugh Local Studios. This is a Laugh Local Network production. New episodes drop weekly. Tell me what stood out to you. Was this justice? What did we miss before the fire? What happens to the survivors who are left to carry the memory of someone who tried to destroy them? Send me a DM, leave a comment, or drop a voice memo. You are the quiet jury, and your verdict matters. Sources: State of Kansas versus Deborah Green, trial documents. People Magazine, After the Fire. Kansas Department of Corrections. Interviews with Michael Ferrara. Fire investigation reports, psychiatric evaluations, and plea agreement transcripts. Until next time, stay curious, stay cautious.